Your average man has no idea what the creative potential is. He doesn't understand his part of the game. He just thinks it's about a penis and sperm. And he has certainly no idea what the woman is and what she's capable of. And the man actually thinks he is the author of his own life. That's the paradox. Yet, and I say this all the time, go back to the Genesis, the book, and read that shit. This is the first book, it's the first couple of pages, and what does the book of God say? It says, Adam, you are a fucking moron. You couldn't even handle that bitch for a week. That's what it says. And that bitch rather go with a snake than hang out with you in paradise. Then she don't have to even try. She just looks at you and smiles and makes you do the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. She didn't even have to try. You went against God's will because she smiled at you. Now, this is the foundation of the human experience, which of course you don't understand because probably you haven't thought about it. It says so in the book. Now stop for 2 seconds. I know that you're the Superman of Supermans. We know this, but come to my level, at the level of the weak people, okay? This is what it says at the very start. This is a deep fucking story. You could spend your whole life and you would never get to the bottom of it. It's a super deep story. Don't stay at the surface like a fool. So let's say that something like this is happening. This is not literal, but almost is. It's not. We're talking about powers and the dance of energies. So that's what happened in the garden with your ass. So from that point on, as the God kicked your fucking ass and that bitch's ass out of the at the garden into the wilderness, what happens from that point on? Clearly, we know who's in charge. And our civilization is the byproduct of that event. Our entire world, now it's not, the story in the Bible is not telling you there was a guy called Adam and a bitch called Eve. No, that's not what it's saying. It's trying to explain something that you cannot understand unless you go a little deeper into the occult so that you start to perceive how powers operate. So what's it saying? It says, well, something happened. Clearly, she's the instigator of it. Both of y'all get kicked out of that garden in a state of perfection, so to speak. So that event is what activates the wheel of life, and everything that comes forth all the way to now, and Elon fucking Musk, is a byproduct of that original sin, not sin as it's evil, which is instigated by her, and you, like a bitch that you are, followed. So what does that say about you? But you don't understand that. And the very fact that you still don't understand that shows exactly what's happened. You still don't fucking understand. And now you think, so if we go back in time a couple of 100 years and they read the Bibles, the men are like, she's the devil. Let's control her. Let's shackle her. Because of her, we go to hell. I'm like, yeah, that's what a stupid man does when he's afraid of something he doesn't understand. A stupid man tries to control. At least these guys had, well, I don't know if they knew. Well, they kind of had a sense, but that's because they were like super religious and strict. Now, you are not religious for most part, so you think you're free from that fundamental truth, which you still don't understand. And now you don't even bother to control her because you don't fucking care. And you're the man now because you can bang hoes on Tinder. I've never been on Tinder, so I don't really know which side you swipe. But I know you swipe. Right? So, again, what I'm trying to say is that this is a very profound story. It's definitely worth your contemplation. And it reveals a lot about who we are, our state of affair. Today, men, on average, or at least in their unconscious mind to a certain degree, she's just a woman. She's never going to be as equal to you or as intelligent as you. Even if you pretend that she is, because otherwise you'll lose your job, you little bitch, right? You're going to get in trouble and your wife is going to make you sleep on the couch, right? So What I'm trying to say is that, no, she has a whole other level of knowledge and power that you most likely plus have no fucking idea about. You cannot fathom it. And the genesis of life, this is the first book in the Bible. Think about this. Some people think that the Bible is the word of God. I'm not here to debate that, but think about it. Let us say it is the word of God for the sake of conversation. It begins with that. We got how God made the whole world and the whole thing. Then he brought that fool, and then he grabbed a rib from his thorax and made her, and then the shit happens. So this is the very onset of life on earth as we know it. It's not the birth of Adam that's the important moment. It's her, because it's from her that everything that happens. If she's not there, everybody's in the Garden of Eden. Ain't nothing happening in the Garden of Eden. There's no movement. It's perfect. It's in perfect stillness. The tiger doesn't eat the giraffe. The tiger doesn't eat the zebra. The tiger eats leaves. In other words, he don't need to do nothing. There's nothing happening. There's no action. There's no activity. And her action, her decisive choice, keyword choice, and you as an idiot who cannot resist, creates this whole wheel that brings us to today. And here you are now trying to pretend that she's nothing, and you compare your intelligence with hers. And now she, of course, is tricking you even more by now trying to pretend that she's a corporate woman, a business person, that she can do MMA. Yeah, she can do anything she wants. Any human being can change their biology and hormonal system with their mind and their desires and whatever they do. Yeah, sure. Well, that has nothing to do with, that's not a woman. That's a woman trying to be a man, and you also trying to be a man. But at least you're trying to be a man. She's a woman trying to be a man. But underneath there remains a power and an intelligence that unfortunately you don't know about. And I think this is very sad, and you're missing out on something. You do not realize what's happening to you or what's happening in the world around you. You think you do. And that's how you know that that power is superior to you, because you cannot see through it. You think you can, because now you're a Manispherian guy who's broken down in 5 rules. And yeah, sure, this is the surface. This is a creature that can take any form.